show, and you can kind of give me feedback if you're seeing the, so are you seeing the point start now?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is another feature of Communicator. Right now, I'm seeing a full screen version of my PowerPoint running. You're seeing the same thing. And I'm just going to walk through it as if I was there presenting. Now, this is a 5-minute introduction to a wikis, which a wiki is a web page which doesn't require you to download any software to use. It allows you to click on the page to edit it, and when you're done, you click save, and it's published to the internet right away. Wikis are meant to be quick, so they're not as pretty as some other maybe blog platforms, like Blogger or WordPress. There's not a lot of themes to choose from. There's a few color schemes that you can choose, but the idea is for a teacher or a student to get information online quickly, and it's meant as a collaborative tool in that it's meant for discussion and it's meant for groups to use. That's where it differs from a blog. A blog is usually meant for someone who wants to deliver information out, like we do with our PD platform. Yes, you can make comments on some of the offerings if you want, but really it's meant to be like provided on a top-down basis. Well, a wiki is, again, a much more collaborative process. Why would you want to use a wiki? These are a few of the more common reasons. It's accessible anytime, anywhere. Again, it's on the web, it's live. It can be, even though you can set a wiki to being private so that only members can log in, there's nothing stopping you from, or the parents from logging into the site using a student username and password. There's, again, peers logging in, peers being other teachers that you give access to a wiki to see, and obviously students being able to access it. There is some studies showing, again, that being able to publish online publicly is a motivational tool and will, in some cases, lead to increased participation. Not everyone, but sometimes I think the value of even one person showing an increased desire to express themselves is worth the effort. It enables learning outside of the classroom, especially when you think about math journaling. A student maybe just isn't their day as far as coming up with ideas or how to form their words on a typed page or a written page for that matter. Nothing is stopping them to have access to a computer at night to going on to the wiki and adding in their comments and their reflections from that day. Also, it's a productivity tool for a teacher, and that's something that I won't go into super detail, but there's features of a wiki to map out history, know when students are online, how long they're online, the ability, now that that information, like a journal entry is digital, copying and pasting, putting into another report, printing them off, not having to lug a magnitude of duotangs home, being able to open up the web page in order to view it, and you can leave comments just like you would handwritten comments into a pencil and paper method. And here's where I just wanted to, again, I'll try to be as brief as possible. These are two really sort of examples I created yesterday, and probably in about 10 minutes it took to create each of these sites and populate them with some samples. So the first sample here is a math word wall. So this is just a list. Wikispaces is probably one of the best free wiki platforms out there. There are no advertisements to worry about. And it's all free. But right now what I've done is, instead of, well, in the classroom you'd have, your letters of the alphabet on the wall in columns, and beneath the columns you would have the different words that are you want to draw attention to. Well, here what I did is I created a page for every letter, and now if you go to, let's say you go to letter P, you can see I put two examples, one of just editing the page and typing the word % in, and this could be done by the teacher. This could be done by a student. If a student wanted to add to the word wall, you could give them permissions to contribute, because everything on a wiki can be undone if they made a mistake. but they can go online with their netbooks and add a word. So again, a time saver for the teacher. You just ask the student to log on and add today's word on. You can also upload images. That's an image file from a PDF that Tracy sent me that had a different way of showing math word wall words in a sort of a graphic textual manner. So I just cut and pasted that on, and then by clicking save, it's now live and online. And again, as you populate the pages, again, there's an example of putting the word fraction in kind of a graphic format. And instead of uploading the picture that showed this, I just edited the page and typed in the word and underlined the part of it instead of. So that's just an example of taking something that traditionally is in the classroom, putting into a digital format that now can be accessed by any student in and outside of the classroom. Parents could view it as well, and you also have it for your own use at home. You'll notice here that you can have discussions about words on this page. Can you see the math word wall page now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. This is, again, that was the page area that I was talking about before. By clicking edit, you add your new words. You can have a discussion going on about any of the words in that page. And you can also see the history of who added what to the wall and when. And you can also click notify me that as a teacher, if I want to know when a student added something to the page, it would email to let me know. So again, that's an example of, again, just roughly, and I've seen other, and if you'd like, I can send some links to completed word walls. I just wanted to show you what a basic one would look like starting out. The math journal, Tracy again was nice enough to send me a question as an example. And in the math journal here is the question for October the 3rd. It's asking students to copy the question and paste it onto the page and to add the date before answering. So here's an example. If a student followed that rule or those two directions, this would be their name, this would be their page in the math journal. So here's October the 3rd. They pasted in what the question was. So instead of rewriting the question out, which can take a lot of time, maybe in a traditional method of pencil and paper, and even with keyboarding skills being what they are, would take some time, they can get right into, again, showing the answers to the question here. And I put in another example based on a real-life sample that Tracy sent me. I dated the entry, they dated, and here was the question they copy and pasted, and here was their answer. And you have, as a teacher, you have the ability to click the comment bubble, click where you want to add a comment, and you can leave your comments just like you would mark in a duotang for the student to read. So if you want to put a check mark for a concept that they apparently have understood, you can do that through taking this little bubble and clicking in the area and saying what comment you want to leave. And again, you can have a discussion with the student on a back page if you want to expand their thinking based on something they've written. You can do it here as well. Or, again, I think the idea of this is the ability to share this with parents so that they can see if they want to check in on a daily basis, or if you're not doing this on a daily basis every other day, or whatever it might be, parents can have access to kind of have conversations at home about students thinking around the questions. Maybe their lack of participation in the journaling as well. So that's just two examples of using wikis within math. Definitely some ways how you could stretch this into language arts and social studies and science. But again, if anyone's interested in trying this out, I don't know of any teachers in our district right now who are, but I'd be more than happy to provide assistance there. Again, I can set these things up for you ahead of time, and then we can just discuss how we're going to add content, basically.